So, in today's cheeky markets, Bitcoin price action is actually on a very critical point, and both movements to the upside or to the downside could be very profitable. At this point, a lot of people are wondering whether altcoins are really doomed or if they will ever come back. Well, for the past couple weeks, the Bitcoin dominance has been going up, and there is no clear sign that it's actually gonna go down. And in last week's crypto news, Binance Solidex exemption to investors, what will the impact of BACT be on the Bitcoin price action, and Binance Charity takes action to help people who suffer from Hurricane Dorian. So, if you're curious about it, just chill and keep watching. Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, and this is your host, the Cheeky Entrepreneur. So guys, I've been away from the charts, well, not really, but kind of for a couple days. If you want to be a successful trader, I think it's very important to take rests. Even when you lose some trades, sometimes you need to get your brain off the market, and that's only good. And being a trader does not only mean that you're gonna take the time for free. You know, you need to study, you need to do your research on other parts of trading. Very recently I've been reading about this book. It's actually about poker, but it's about the psychologies that poker players need to have when playing, and I think that's very useful. It helps you figure out things like when you get tilted from losing trades and whatnot. So I think it's very good. I think I'm gonna be talking more about that when I finish reading the book, but I think it's just interesting. And also just reminding you that you always need to do something to get better, to improve your skills, to improve your psychology. That's only gonna help if you want to be a successful trader. But in any ways, guys, let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about the price action. And I think we are really at a critical point right now, and it's a 50-50 chance. But the good thing is that it doesn't matter if you're a bull, it doesn't matter if you are a bear. The opportunities for both sides are very great, and I really want to talk about them. So first of all, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I know everyone's been talking about it right now. I did mention in my previous videos, and as I said, actually the price bounced from this support box that I was saying, and I said that it would go all the way up to this potential double top in here. I did mention that 10,800 it was a good opportunity to short. To be honest, I did put a short at 11,000. It didn't quite reach. I think in BitMex it was missing at least 40 points to 30 points. Unfortunately, my order did not get filled, but in any case, it actually went all the way up in there as we were actually anticipating before. So that's one thing. But now taking a look at the bigger picture, we know it's here. We know it's a possibility. It doesn't have to come to fruition. It doesn't have to be something that will turn out, but it could as well. So if we take a look, of course, we have a huge descending triangle, and if we actually extrapolate the potential target for that, and we go down here, we go really low. We actually go all the way to the 6K, to this support box. So that's gonna be very interesting, because if you take a short in this line and it actually break to the downside, I mean, just the risk reward is stupendous, to be honest. And that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of opportunities, not only to the short side if this descending triangle were to happen, but I'm also give some things on the upside as well. I mean, just to finish this kind of a bearish analysis, of course, we have the stochastics. Before we were over sold, now we're overbought. I think it's with the stochastics, you should never just short when it just gets overbought. I think that's not a good idea, and the same goes for the other side, because sometimes the extensions of the movements happen when it's in the overbought area. So you should wait at least a couple days if you're in a daily time frame, a couple candles, just to see where the price goes. But now it seems that it could be a good possibility if the price bounces back to this 11K to 10,800. I will definitely take some shorts. But if the price actually breaks this line, because that's another whole possibility, I would be willing to take some longs. And I think these are some moves that if you are trading right now, you should not miss. Let's see what the bulls did over the past week, and it's very interesting because we did not only break these two important lines that I've been mentioning, the EMAs, the 20 and the 50 are very important lines. We did not only break them, but we also found support on them. So there's a good chance, and I think this could be also a good trade if we actually break to the upside. If we break this downline, I think it could be it could have a very strong significance. Also, it's not a surprise, but this level that I pointed out in the last couple videos, which was around 9.5k, that support box, in reality it comes from a major indicator. And if we take a look at the bigger picture, we see that it was the 0.382%, well, I mean the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level that held a huge significance over this. So it wouldn't really surprise me if we find enough momentum from here to come up here, find some resistance, I mean some support, and then continue our way back up. This could even potentially be bull flag for all that we know. Short story, guys, there's huge opportunities to the upside, there's huge opportunities to the downside, and as well as I've been saying over and over again, don't get married to one side. If you are here to trade, crypto is the best asset just to trade to any side. I mean, the volatility is there, the opportunities are there, the risk reward is there. Now guys, taking a look at the 4-hour chart is not as interesting as the daily chart, but in any case I just want to recap some of the things. Of course, we got some support from this 9.5k level, which was a very important level. We actually went back up, we broke the EMA ribbon, and we did not only break it to the upside, we actually retested, and it seems that we could potentially continue going all the way back up. And in reality, in this time frame, we are just waiting for the great move to happen. If it's gonna be to the upside, let it be. If it's gonna be to the downside, let it be. I still think it's gonna be a very interesting time right now in the short time frame, because we could potentially move again back up. If we did, of course, we have this strong resistance box, and again, this is where I'm planning to short. But if we actually break this resistance to the upside, I'm gonna be switching to longs. I mean, I'm gonna be covering up, and I'm actually gonna be longing. But in any case, things become more interesting when we add some other indicators, because if we are talking about where the price is gonna go, I think it's uncertain at this time. We'll really need to wait and see where it goes, because if we look at the stochastics in the 4-hour chart, we could potentially go back up, retest this resistance. But if we take a look at the RSI, of course, we are actually forming some bearish divergences. In here we have the price going lower and lower, but we have the price coming up, and as I said before, usually you have 3 peaks, if not a little bit more, where the price actually overextends, and that's when the best opportunity to short, or when the best opportunity to actually buy is. So it wouldn't surprise me if from this channel we actually go a little bit back up. If we go around this zone, this is where I'm gonna short. If the price continues going up and reaches the end of the box, and will be prepared to cover up and to open some longs if the price, of course, gives me the opportunity. But that's all about trading. You need to be planning ahead. You need to know if this happens, what are you gonna do, because that's only gonna make it easier for you to adapt. And usually when the price moves, there's a lot of sentiments, there's a lot of feelings, so you want to have a plan already, so you don't have to process that. You only have to process the bare minimum, which you already know what it is. Well, in any case, guys, just very quickly, some words on alts. I think a lot of people are really asking themselves if alts are ever coming back, and to be honest, there's 2 points that I would like to highlight. First of all, Bitcoin is gaining so much relevance against real investors. There has been many news, not only Binance, SolidX, also Bitcoin ETF, so that all this attention is on Bitcoin. So, and even for institutional investors, it's gonna be Bitcoin. At the very least, it's gonna be first Bitcoin, and then maybe they will take a look at other altcoins. Another thing that is really affecting the altcoin market is, of course, the stable coins, because even if people start buying altcoins, the price of the altcoin market cap is not really gonna go up. I mean, if this dominance goes down because of all of these stable coins, that does not mean that others will have the gain, and that's a problem because you won't be able to profit from altcoins if that were to happen. In any case, in technical terms, it is possible to still have kind of like a small retracement, at least get back some of the missed gains that the altcoins have had. First of all, we have kind of this formation. It's kind of like an extended flat when I was saying about this correction, so it's still a possibility that we correct back down maybe to the 70% level, maybe even lower. Of course, this does not have to happen. I mean, again, we have overbought stochastics, and we even have multiple bearish divergences. I mean, here one top, the second, the third, and here's the fourth. So maybe it could be a good idea. To be honest, I'm gonna be focusing more on Bitcoin because the volatility in Bitcoin makes it a little bit better. Because even if we take a look at the dominance, that does not mean that all the altcoins are gonna be moving, and that's the first point that I brought, that if with all these stable coins, maybe the dominance might go down, but this does not have to reflect in single altcoins. So that's just one thing for you guys to take into consideration. Well, in any case, guys, let's go into the crypto news of last week because they have been very interesting, and I also think that's why we had that small surge to the upside, because they do carry some relevance. Binance SolidX to offer limited Bitcoin ETF for institutions via exemption. Following another delay on Bitcoin exchange traded funds, asset managers Binance and SolidX plan to offer a limited version of their Bitcoin ETF to institutional investors. Binance Securities and SolidX Management want to start selling shares in a limited version of a Bitcoin ETF, using a rule that exempts the shares from securities registration, under which shares can be sold only to certain institutional investors. By using the SEC exemption, Binance and Solid will be able to offer shares of their Binance SolidX Bitcoin Trust to institutions such as banks and hedge funds, but not retail investors, the report notes. Guys, I think this is very important. I think we're getting there. We are still not at the point where the SEC and where all these regulations will catch up with this industry, but I think there's so much interest that there are actually moving these, let's say, these cards under their sleeves. They're trying to do all these exemptions, and I think it's because people know that we are still early adopters. Bitcoin price. Will BACT launch this month take BTC to new highs? BACT has been approved, and starting September 6th, clients will be able to deposit their funds into the BACT warehouse in anticipation of trading beginning on September 23rd. Is this time different, or will the market reaction to this latest institutional product launch echo that of the CBOE futures launch date in December 2017, which resulted in Bitcoin price dropping 85% over the following 12 months? A key difference between the CBOE and CME future products and BACTs is that the future contract through BACT is settled in Bitcoin, not cash. This will be significant as it means that clients who trade that product will receive actual Bitcoin in their accounts upon settlement instead of dollars. And guys, I think this is huge, and again, it's all about supply and demand, because if they trade, they will get Bitcoin, and Bitcoin settle is, for instance, just like BitMex. You can trade, but in the end you will have Bitcoin. You are not actually selling it back. However, this does not mean that the people who are actually trading in that platform, they cannot short, because they can still short and earn more Bitcoin. So it's still a possibility that this could have a negative impact or a very positive. I think long term it's positive because it's enabling more people to actually trade in Bitcoin. It's enabling more people to actually hold Bitcoin while trading, which is something that a lot of us are already doing. But now, if institutions are gonna be playing around, that movement in this industry could take a huge impact. Maybe we could expect a little bit less volatility because of the more liquidity we're getting, but I don't think this is gonna be the case. I think we are actually gonna be expecting some really important moves in the coming months, maybe before the Bitcoin halving. Binance Charity accepts cryptocurrency donations for hurricane relief. Binance Charity, the philanthropic wing of major cryptocurrency exchange Binance, has begun a campaign to help support victims of Hurricane Dorian. On the campaign website, Binance states that donations in Bitcoin, Binance Coin, and XRP will be distributed to the Hurricane Relief Project. At press time, the campaign has received 14 donations for a total of 0.558 Bitcoin or $5,852. None of the funds have been distributed yet. According to Binance Charity, the donations and eventual disbursements will be recorded on a blockchain, making the process more transparent. In addition to asking the blockchain and crypto communities for donations, Binance Charity has also asked for recommendations on how to make disbursing aid faster and more effective. And guys, I think this is something very good and also something that cryptocurrencies have been used for in the past. I think always charity is a good thing, not only to help other people, but to stimulate kind of the adoption of this new market at the very least. Because even if you have, for instance, if you talk about other markets, if you have shares or if you are really into forex, in reality you cannot directly impact or you cannot directly give money to charity. For instance, you will always have of course to withdraw from your accounts, and then you will have to give some, but this enables another kind of possibility, because you cannot only be trading, you cannot only be investing, but if you feel like it only takes some clicks just to send something to an organization of this kind. Well, in any case guys, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, and only if you did, mind subscribing, also push that like button. Your presence here is always appreciated. I really thank for all the support, for the views as well. If you want to support the channel, you know the deal, just take a look down in the description. Also mind sharing this video, it really helps very small channels like mine. But in any case guys, just as usual, I would like to remind you all, stay smart, stay bold, but most important of all, stay cheeky. Take care guys.